Hey guys, it's Camille and I'm here with Collectionaire. We are going to interview them and find out all about their company. They are one of our partners, so we're so happy to introduce them to you guys. I'm going to invite Stan in. Hey Stan, how are you?
Hi, Camille. Great, thanks. How are you
Good.
today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, great. Well, I'm in an unusual location. I'm out of sorts, so to speak, from that standpoint. This is family weekend at my daughter's college, and of course, it was canceled due to COVID. But we're the type of annoying parents that show up anyway. So here I am in her kitchen apartment, broadcasting now because she has good, at least she has good web service. So
I
excited,
love that.
excited to present.
I'm so glad you're able to go support your daughter though.
Well, it's fun being here with her for a couple of
Oh,
days.
good. I hope she's enjoying it too. Awesome. Okay, so tell us a quick 10, 30-second intro on your company, and then we'll dive right in.
It wasn't necessarily started out to be a company. I had retired, I'd been an entrepreneur, and was looking for a way to organize my family's photos, videos, keepsakes, etc. And very simply wanted everything in one place where it could be seen not only by myself but my kids who were around the country,
Yeah,
and it wasn't out there. So we decided, hey, let's come out of retirement and create it. So that's what Collectionaire you're going to see today.
that is awesome. So you came out of retirement to do this. That's incredible.
Well, it's fun. It's more fun than building the model railway in the attic or whatever you're supposed to do. So
Right?
it's been
Retirement's boring
a
anyway,
great
right?
pleasure. Met a lot of great people doing it, so it's been really fun.
Well, good, good. Really fast, what made you want to partner with us?
Well, the goal with our product is simply to reach people that were like us, that people that had a lot of memories, and
Yes.
and as I'll show in the presentation, ancestry, family search, those are really geared more to a legacy memory collection rather than your
Yeah.
current family's memories, home movies, and the artwork of your kids, their dance recitals, those kind of things. And we had a lot of that. So I found the world was geared more to ancestors, but nothing was out there with all the photos, the thousands of photos and videos that you're taking today and in the last 20 years of your kids.
Uh-huh.
So I felt there was a need to that. And you guys reached that audience that's maybe uh, that it likes genealogy, but also trying to figure out what to do with their own media.
I like that. That's really cool that you are focusing on the current family because we can't forget about them. They're our ancestors of the future, right?
Well, that's the story of the future that others are going to want to see. So the question is, how
Exactly.
are they going to see your family today? How are your kids in 20 years going to see their childhood? What do you want to show to them? What do you want to share with them? Sending them to your photo site for 70,000 photos, they'll have no idea what's in there. So
Right. And they're not going to want to look at that. That takes too much time. That's too much to
right,
shift through.
that's all that is part of what we're going to present today, and for some
Awesome.
people, it may be what they were looking for. So we've had great reception from a lot of people saying, "Wow, this is just we can't believe this is here." So I hope some of the
Awesome.
people, the listeners, will find that to be the case for them as well.
Awesome. Okay. Well, then let's jump right into that training. What are you going to tell us about today?
Well, tell you what, I've created for this a quick, maybe 8-minute little PowerPoint slides that goes through a lot of slides, but pretty quickly. So if I
Okay.
can do a screen share here, I'm sorry, I'm on two
Yes.
screens. Uh,
Let's do that.
let's look at screen share, and let's go here, and that
Perfect.
should show up
Okay.
here.
Yes, I see it right
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Okay, great.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm going to make it so it's just that and take off the banner so we can see the whole screen.
Okay. So
Okay.
good. I'll start going in this. So this was again the real goal, as we try to describe in one easy sentence of what Collectionaire is. It's trying to create a best memories collection. Maybe you have a lot of home movies on VHS tapes and even 8mm, and you have a lot of photos, scanned photos to digital photos, and it's really a lot there, but only a small part, maybe 10-20% of all of that are the things you really want to pass on to the next generation, or that you just want to make sure you never lose those things. And that's what
Yeah.
it's about. I this will quickly go to a quick slide on me. I, again, was an entrepreneur, which is why this
Okay.
was easy to do. I was an ex-Disney guy and had 3 other companies. And left when I left, I'd been looking forward to for years to really compile our family media and share it with the kids. So that's what it was. And the goal was really to create something where everything was in one location. I could go to one site. And I really thought that site was probably out there. And I looked for months to find it and didn't. So maybe we started a little like many people, back before 2000, you really didn't have the digital revolution started. So you were under control. You had prints and things like that. You put them in photo albums. All was fine. And then the digital photos started to come and you had more. And finally, when cameras started having or phones started having cameras on them, as you know, it's an overwhelming scenario. And how are you going to make sure your best are not lost? For us, that best memories were, first of all, our family memories, our best vacations, times together. I just really wanted the kids to have that. Even going to where do I put photos of our wedding for my wife and myself. So our family collection was something very important to pass on. But also each child, we have 3 children, and each had their own passions when they were young. One was a dancer, shown here. Oh, this is piano player. One was a dancer, one was a piano player. Our son played sports. So we wanted them to have the best of all the media we had. And they have no idea, still don't probably for the most part, because this is all developing, of what we have about them from birth to today. And so we wanted to pass that on and make sure they could find it in our morass of videos and photos. We also had, unfortunately, recently lost my wife's mother. We've now also, unfortunately, lost her father in the last couple of years. And the grandkids that we didn't have yet would have no idea who these wonderful people were. So I knew that Family Search and Ancestry did a pretty good job of allowing you to put photos in, but a lot of the memories we had were slideshows and home movies and other things about them. So I wanted a way to create a richer profile of each of these lost loved ones. And even though this was my wife's, amazingly, on her paternal grandfather, was the world's fastest sprinter in the 20s, and his box was in the attic. So how were we going to pass that info on to the kids? So and so in that attic, again, I also inherited my parents' box of 8mm movies and slides and all those things. And so that was the question: how are we going to keep these? And
I inherited my grandma's whole room.
There you go. So and you wonder, what the heck can I do with this? And indeed, that was my goal. Where am I going to put all these things, including multi-generational family histories? So anyway, here were I needed 3 things as I started out at this. One, I needed to be able to, in this collection, and where we're talking about here is not, I should have pointed this out at the beginning, is not a physical collection. We have those items, and we're carefully organizing separately those that are valuable. But also, since my kids were all over, I wanted a way to share this with them. And not everyone can have the family album or the photo on the wall of your grandfather. So I wanted to digitize everything and put everything in one location. And that had to be prints, digital albums, slideshows, home movies, etc. So it needed to be everywhere. Secondly, the child you see there next to my wife is where we are now with her in her apartment. But my oldest daughter was down in Florida and my son up in Seattle. How were we going to share this with them in the future? And of course, here are my parents back in Indiana, and they're going to want to see all of this collection too, because it was their boxes that I've inherited. Once I organize, how do they see it? And they're all going to want to see these things now. And this is the great thing about technology. This technology approach has really only been available a few years, where cloud costs for storage are inexpensive enough that you can move everything to the cloud, organize it, and then people can view those on any platform, from the mobile phone to a computer. So we definitely needed to have this in the cloud as a digital collection that they all could share, and that I could upload from my computer, and then they could all view all of the collection. So number 2 was it needed to be in the cloud. And number 3 is that my parents aren't getting any younger, not highly computer savvy, and at best they can log into a site. So how was I going to create a site where they didn't have to go into nested folders in a photo site to find these best memories? How could we compile that?
That makes sense.
So that was the quest. So I had everything kind of organized, well, actually very well organized in a computer, but in my hard drive, that's not going to be shareable with everybody. And it includes everything. It doesn't include just the best memories. So I considered Family Search and Ancestry and uploaded a lot of media there, but it really fell short. I mean, ancestors over 30, 40 years ago, you have a few photos and a few stories for the most part. And that's great. And it's a great place to put those ancestors more than a generation or two ago. But
Yeah.
Memories today are really not one photo that's more like a vacation, which could be a home movie in 8mm. It could be a vacation with 30 photos, not one photo. And those sites are not set up to create an entire family collection of all of your private memories. So I really did, I want to tap into what they do, and I want to do it similarly, but that wasn't it. So next I decided let's upload to and try evaluate all these photo cloud sites that we all know, and see what see if they do the job. And all of them have this great ability now to search and curate your photos to find, if I want those, if I want to find my vacation photos from 2001 Hawaii, boom, 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 there they are. But there might be 200 photos, and that's not really what you want to pass on. You might want to pass on a small album. So what we did is we built this site around from photos, going into your photo sites, moving all your photos into the cloud on one of the sites I just mentioned, or other sites, and then curating that collection to create albums, if you will. And all of the sites are set up to do that. That's one of the bread and butter elements of those sites, is that you can curate a collection, and you can see here with check marks, I'm taking a, can you see my cursor in here? Yeah, I think you can.
Yes.
But you can see I clicked that picture, not this one, I clicked this one. So you can select the photos you want to put, and then those are stored in an album, as you can see here. And then your album that I just created shows up as one of dozens of albums, in this case in Google Photos. And every one of these sites have it, whether it's Apple or Forever or whatever, they have these albums there. But that's then where we kind of halt with them, because some of them load movies, but some do not. Some have restrictions on home movies. Some aren't as good for documents and PDFs and things like that. But they are all good for photos. So we had that element going for it. But they really still were not designed to create the kind of collection that we wanted. Forever maybe came closest to that objective, but in our mind, for our family, and we tried Forever, it was still difficult for them to know. You have to dive down into nested folders to see what's there. So, so anyway, and we also had other things, these slideshows and trip journals and audio recordings and things that also didn't fit into many of those. And then we found with movies, there were some sites that were better than others. Some, for example, if you had a home movie that's 2 hours long and you had a special scene in there, in this case, that's my daughter curtsying there. And I wanted to pass a video onto her the one time that she won first prize in this dance competition. Yeah, that was, well, and it was a keepsake and a really wonderful moment. And so that started 11 minutes. I didn't want to just give her the video and start it at the soccer game. I wanted to be able to start a memory right at that point. And with some sites, Vimeo, Google Drive, and YouTube, you can do that. So this thing is starting to get complex to us of how are we going to pass on these memories. So this is what our collection had. When I was done with it, again, this is before thinking about even starting to create an app. We had PDFs, we had home movies, we had photos, all in different sites. And the question is, how is I going to bring this together? So that was the big question mark. Well, we discovered a simple solution. If I go back to this legacy profile of my late mother-in-law, we realized we can maybe create an index of her life. And every one of these photo albums, I know I'm going fast for everyone. This will be a recorded session. Maybe you could watch it twice, go to our website. There's a lot of help videos. So I'm trying to get the big picture across. Don't worry too much about details. But we realized we needed a collection for every person, meaning the best of their life and all. And each for the family as well. You see here, it's not just one person, but up the top you see my wife and me. Because the home movies didn't belong to me or my wife. They belonged to the family. So we could create a collection page for each family in addition to each person.
I love that.
So the breakthrough, the question is how to do it, is I really didn't know this when I started out, but a common denominator of every app is that they allow a share link. Here you're seeing that list of albums circled in red that are in this case, in Google. And again, I've replicated our collection in many sites because at Collectionaire, we need to know how every site works. And they all do this. They all give you a link. Here's a share link to this 2002 Yellowstone family trip. And we get that link. Each one has a different way to get it, but you get that link. And what it allows you to do is to go to any site that has that link and see only that album. So in this case, what we can do is take that link from that album and we insert it here. You can see in a chapter on the right in the collection for my wife and myself, our best vacations. We insert that link into an entry or an album, and it links this entry to our album in Google Photos. And each one of these sites can be linked differently to anything in any website. I know that is the key to the whole thing, and that's what has to be understood. But once you understand that, it's an aha moment that makes life very simple to put everything in one collection.
That's really cool. Now, if you change that Google photo album, will that change in Collectionaire?
Well, if you go in and edit the album, first of all,
Yes.
when you say change, I have to ask some questions. If I change,
No, you're good.
if I add photos to that album, it updates it in Collectionaire as well, because we're linking to whatever is live in your Google Photos collection. So you can add
That's awesome.
things to it. You can change the title of it. You can take photos out of it, but it's linking to those photos. And that's how it works with every site, by the way. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
And it works that way, by the way. These could be home movies in this site in Google. It could be a 2-hour home movie in the cloud, and it represented by a box into Google Drive or Vimeo. And we simply get the share link to that and put it into our collection.
That's really awesome.
So once it's in there, then all you do is click on this little square preview image. And what it does, it opens a new tab in your browser and takes you right to that collection, that curated album, wherever it is, whether it's in Google or Apple Photos or Memory Web or wherever it might be. And so that's the very simple. Or if it's a home movie that's in the cloud in Vimeo or YouTube, it will take you to directly to that home movie. So now you're watching a movie like you're watching a Netflix movie, and it's your own home movie. So that is the key to that element. And this, again, as I said, is common. You can see this with all these cloud sites. They all have a way. It's front and center. It's a very key part of all these sites is this share link. Oftentimes the share link is used primarily to click on the link and send it to a friend via an email. We're just using it a different way by putting it into a permanent index in Collectionaire. So the way we then organize these pages is that we help you create chapters. And then within each chapter, as you can see under family vacations, you can put these links that create a share link. And these are the parts. You get the share link goes in, you can enter a title, a description, it tells you the album location, and you get a preview image on the left. And again, clicking that image takes you to the site. And one of the great things about it is if it's a home movie, in most places, whether it's a DVD or whatever it is, it's hard to tell what's in that. But in Collectionaire, you could actually write in a description of that movie that's even searchable on your site. And that's a little
cool.
More than we can get into today, but it's pretty cool the way it works. So in summary, we finally found a way for this place for everything and everything in its place. But now the question was, okay, we've got all these collection pages. How are we going to allow my aging parents to find them? And the obvious solution was to use it the same way that many others do. I mean, we didn't just have one person, we have many. We didn't have just one family, we had many families as well. And the solution became, again, just like Family Search, is a family tree. And so the way that this works is you build this family tree, and I'll say just this week we launched our GEDCOM upload. So if someone was using ancestry.com, they can export a GEDCOM file and upload here. Now, unfortunately, Family Search does not yet, well, it doesn't use GEDCOM. But the good news is we've been invited by Family Search to be a partner, and we are in the process of integrating so that one will be able to upload their family search tree for the direct descendants or ancestors.
That's awesome.
Into Collectionaire. So in a few months, we hope to have that by, say, Roots Tech here in February to launch.
Yay.
Virtual. So that'll be a good help. And that'll upload and create a tree. Or someone can start, again, one of the things about this is that since this is made more for your current family's media than ancestors, you could quickly go in and add people to your own tree. And then
Yeah.
you'll see in our help section, you can actually take ancestors who are already represented well in Family Search or Ancestry.com or MyHeritage or another site. And you can link their profile here to those sites, which is pretty cool. Again, you can use the share link right to that. So the way the family tree then works very briefly is that each person has their page, and clicking on their profile in the page brings up that collection page that we showed you a few minutes ago. And for the family, this is something very unique to Collectionaire. Every couple has a link between them because, once again, as I said, the family vacations, Christmases together, those belong to an entire family. So that family, whatever you want to call that family, it's usually the husband, wife, kids, all has a collection page for their best memories. So that's
cool.
secret. And then there's a couple other elements too. The little numbers under the tree tell you how many items have been indexed for a person, which is very helpful to know, well, should I look at this person? They have only one thing, that'll be quick, whatever. Or this person has 20, they must have a pretty rich life. And even this yellow circle here denotes a person with a story you definitely don't want to miss. So it could be anyone in the family. Of course, everyone's story is important. But in this case, this was the grandfather who set the world record in the 20s of the 100-yard dash.
That's cool.
And so we want the kids and their children to see that in our collection.
It's kind of a highlight.
Yeah, it's kind of a highlight thing. The last thing was, and this is, again, a little more advanced, but I was given a number of family histories, in this case for the Bryant family, that actually came over in the first ships after the Mayflower in 1640, settled in Situate, just north of Plymouth Rock. And we have the whole story of them. Now, where am I going to put that? I'm not going to go in my family tree. How would anyone find it if it's clear back at John Bryant, 1644? Well, what we've done is we've put this flag, as you can see here, into it, and it denotes that we've got a family history profile for the Bryant family. And this would be so it would be a whole collection page, as you're seeing here, just like the others. And you can enter all the information on the Bryant family all the way back just in this, so you don't have to go seeking through the tree to find that history. So it's a pretty good way. People are liking that feature to put in family histories. So anyway, so it was a long intro, but I hope it helps people understand what our objectives were and how we solved it.
Yes, I loved it. It totally introduced it to me. We do have a question from Fun on a Dime in YouTube, and she says, is there a file size limit or a limit per account of how much you can have on it?
On your site? Well, the way we go, and I'll even click on it. I may have to sign out to do it here. Let's see, because I don't think the pricing is here. If you go to our homepage, collectionaire.com, you can see at the bottom, it is here. You can register anytime on Collectionaire for free, build your family tree for free, and you can add up to 20 of these links that I just described for free. Our basic plan is up to 300 linked albums, which 99% of our users are under 300 links in their collection. And that is just $2.99 a month when you buy an annual subscription of $36. The Pro plan then is an unlimited number for $5 per month when annual. So that's $59.99 a month, I guess, per year. Per year. So you'll see this if you go to our site. You also see, now that I'm here, if you click here, you would see a lot of help videos. And if you're interested in what I presented, grab a cup of coffee and watch these first 6 videos, and you'll really get an idea of whether it's for you and even how to do it for your family. We go through a little bit here on the homepage. So that's it. And up here, you can see different things. Here's our help and support section, blogs, and here are my collections. If I click on here, that takes me in my collection at the top. Now, this is collections I can see. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Are there any other questions, Camille, and I know we're about ready to wrap up here, but I thought maybe I have time to quickly show how we add one item to a collection?
Yeah, go ahead. I think we've covered all the questions. We just have people saying, oh, this is so neat. Fun on a Dime again.
Okay, well, that's nice to hear.
Liv's Treehouse says that my favorite thing is that it can all finally be in one place. So we've got lots of great comments that way.
Oh,
So
great.
yes, show
Well,
us.
what I'll show you is very quickly a demo of what I just spoke of. This is myself, my wife, and our kids, and we do now have, I'm pleased to say, a grandchild.
Oh,
who
congratulations.
are now the beneficiary of all this, that be able to see these things. But if I just click this triangle, I move to my wife's view of her tree. So we're over here, and let's go to this. These are her parents. Unfortunately, we lost in 16 and 19. But if I go to her father here, I'm going to show that I have his collection that's begun here of his life, his Navy years. You can see I've even clicked to a YouTube video on the torpedo bomber that he flew in the Korean War.
Oh, wow.
Because we don't have video on that, but because we use links, I can link to anything on the internet. It's a little like Pinterest meets Netflix. How's that? It's kind of that kind of thing. So, and this would, and before a year or two, this was not even possible. And so it's so exciting that the technology has allowed us to do this with these share links. But let's go, let's say I have here, I'm going to a different tab, and these are albums that I have in Flickr. And this would be just like the albums I showed you in Google Photos or in iCloud or SmugMug. And over here, you see photos from youth, and this is my wife's father, James, 108 photos in Flickr. This little arrow right here, if I push it, gives me this share link. This is how I get a share link in Flickr. And if I copy that right there, that's all I need to do. And now I'm done with Flickr for the moment. I just go back to Collectionaire and I say, I'm going to add, let's add a chapter of his young life. And I add a chapter. Here's what it does. It gives me a drop-down menu, or I can type in my own, but I'm going to say Best When Young. That's a nice chapter name. Maybe I'll find more things to add of his life when he was younger. I'm going to collapse all the chapters here and just drag this one from that, since I want it to be first, here into first position. Now I'm going to add that Flickr album. If I added linked album, I can say young Jimmy, and I can say photos from California in the 1930s. That's what he's there. And now this is the key again to the site. The whole site comes together on this basic concept and capability. I'm going to paste in right there that link that I got. I'm going back to the other tab for a second. That link I got from this album on a share link is being pasted
that
here.
seems really easy.
It is very easy. And now on many sites, Flickr being one of them, I can click this blue button, generate an album image, and it actually creates the preview image of him. I can zoom in on a little bit, square it up, save it. Now I'm doing this in real time. If we're slow, it's actually pretty good. My daughter has good internet. And say, is this private, family, and friends? I can give it a star rating if I want, but I'm just going to save this. And there it is, young Jimmy in his collection. And now, even if Flickr is closed, I could click on this. You don't need to be logged into Flickr. You don't have to have an account with Flickr. This is a share link, something that Flickr gave us to send to anybody, that if they click on this, they see only this album in Flickr and they see nothing else. And so now it's opening a new tab, and now it's going to the Flickr site. Again, it's internet constrained here, but here we are. Here's his photos from youth, and here are 108 photos of young Jimmy in Porterville, California, 1930s. So any collection, that if it was to a home movie, we would have collected there. But anyway, that's how it works. That's how you add. And with that, anything that you find, any journal, we've even taken, and here you can see in Ancestry and Family Search, these links go straight to his collection that are already in Family Search and Ancestry. So you can link
That is cool.
Everything on the internet can be linked to this person that pertains to them. So anyway, I will stop screen share there, and I think we're wrapped up.
Awesome. We do have another question from Fun on a Dime. She says, how do the accounts work? Does everyone have to be a member or have an account to view? And can we collaborate with extended family? How easy is it to do?
The question is yes and yes. People do need to register. It just a little bit like Facebook or Instagram. You have to have your own account to see someone's account. I know at least Facebook you do. But you don't need to pay anything. They can just come on as a guest. And then there's a share capability. Maybe I stopped this too quickly. Let's see if I can quickly get back to screen share and show this right now. And I'll show you on this. If I go to top of the page, let's see how quickly it shows up here. Okay, so I'm going to navigate to the top of my page and go back to my tree. And you see at the top of the page here, guest permissions. I can invite anyone to view it by entering their their email here. And that allows them then to open their collection, and they'll see the Kinsey collection right there at the top of their page if we were to share that with somebody. So that's how the sharing works. So you can share, and you can share with as many people as you want, hundreds if you want, and they can collaborate. Oh, I was going to show that. If I add a guest permission here, and if I were to add someone, when I click invite, I can put in their email or multiple separated by commas, a message, and then I have viewing permissions. As you remember, when I added that album of Young Jimmy, I put that in as friends and family, but I could have put it in as a private. And then we give them permissions to view and even permissions to edit. So if I trusted my kids to add to the collection, I can just click, they can add, but they can't change anything that's in there. Or if I were a professional working with someone on their collection, we both might have full edit privileges, as you see here. So it's full privilege of the content and what people see.
That's awesome that you can control what is going out and what can change.
Right. So that, and again, there are many, if you go into the help sections and other things, there are probably, I mean, the search capabilities, if I just exit this for a second, if I wanted to go back to my collection and my tree here and go to the tree, the search capabilities on the site, when you enter a description and a title, I can enter any keyword here that's in a description and pull that up, or I can even get a click list of everyone in my tree and go straight to their collection or to their tree location, either one. So there are a lot of rich capabilities and features that are part of this that you'll discover. And our contact us is at the bottom of our webpage. We try to get back within minutes of people asking questions.
Sweet. Awesome. I think this is very cool. I am so excited that everything can be in one place and I don't have to send my family to 20 different places to find out the information that they've asked me about. So this was very needed. Thank you for building it.
Well, thank you. It's been a real joy. I'll tell you. It's been, frankly, it's turned into the most fun company I've ever had. So
That's cool.
I've had some very fun ones. So it's a fun passion to see people react to this. So it's been great.
Awesome. Okay, really fast. How have you connected with your family during this pandemic?
Well, I don't want to be promoting too much, but Collectionaire is great. But I'll say also, we have been on a lot of planes, frankly. We live in San Diego, daughter in Jacksonville, kids all over. I was just back visiting my elderly parents in Indiana. And we're just very cautious. I've been tested just in the last 2 weeks. And we try to see people where we can, but we're incredibly careful when we do that. But Collectionaire is also helpful. A lot of notes going back and forth hey, I just uploaded this to Collectionaire, take a look, things like that. So it's been fun, great fun.
Awesome. Now, with partnering with us, I know that you have some perks for our participants.
Yes, we do. So everyone can get, and I don't know if you've posted that anywhere, Camille?
Yes, it's on the website, on the connections-experiment.com.
Good. There is a coupon that if someone wants to subscribe to one of the programs, the plans there. Again, it's free to just get in and try it. But if you want to subscribe up until I think the end of the month, we're allowing a coupon called Collect 2020. I think it's posted there. If you have questions, send a contact us to us. We'll get back to you right away. But Collect 2020 gives you half off for 2 years on a subscription.
Wow. That's awesome. That's really cool. Thank you very much for giving that to our participants. That's awesome. Now let's see. How about a giveaway? I think you have a giveaway also.
Yes, I don't know how you guys are going to do that, whether you're going to
It's
randomly
going to
draw.
be in our after party.
Okay, yeah,
On the 22nd, I believe, is when our after party is. Might be the night of the 21st.
great. I'll look forward to that as well. And we are giving away one free lifetime account
Oh,
to Collectionaire for that.
that's really cool. That's awesome. Thank you very much for partnering with us. Anything else you want to add really fast before we go?
No, just a thank to you guys for coming up with this great idea and great plan and reaching out to so many people. Events like this are fantastic, and you're doing a great job for just starting it up earlier this year. And I hope it continues to the future. So I congratulate you and Olivia and the others that are doing this.
Oh, we're just glad you've come on to help us partner. You've helped us continue this experiment on. So everyone go and support Collectionaire. And thank you so much, Stan. We've really appreciated and enjoyed having you on here.
Thanks, Camille. It's my pleasure. Really appreciate it. Have a great
Thank you.
week and a great program.
Thank you very much. Okay, so that's Collectionaire. Make sure you guys go check them out. Remember, it's free to check them out and to try it out. I encourage you to go and do that. And we'll see you guys later.